Hello YouTube, and welcome to Fallout Who version 1 Grandfather Edition for Fallout 4. Yeah. But anyways, there are two things I'd like to get out of the way before we get started. Number one, on the screen right now is a link to another video by a actually very popular YouTuber, well outside of my popularity range, that is, in my opinion, quite funny. I would totally go watch this if you want a more funny look at this mod. He has very little experience with this mod and has never played any of the previous versions, so it leads to some rather hilarity. A little frustration for a guy like me who already knows how these mods mostly work. I don't know everything about this one yet, as I am just getting started understanding this mod, and it's still quite infant stages. But anyways, basically, go check that out. It goes right at the end of his Fallout 4 series, so if you don't watch that, you might not completely understand what's going on, but don't worry too much about that. It's fairly self-contained. There's just a little bit of a reference that probably will be picked up if you watch the end of his Fallout 4 series, which I haven't. But anyways, enough babbling. Like I said, there's going to be a 60-second rant. This is just to fuel my anger, because it was very frustrating getting to the point to make this video. So I am now going to begin my 60-second rant. If you want to skip the 60 seconds, which is a minute, for those of you who aren't second inclined, click that button in the center of the screen right now to skip ahead in a minute. I'm sorry, did that pause the video? My bad. I forgot to put the link there. There we go. Click that and you'll skip past the rant straight to the discussion about the mod. Ready? Okay. If you've wanted to leave, you've left. If you're still here, you care to hear what I'm going to rant about. Here we go. 60 seconds. Boom. Okay, so my simple problem was that when I first installed this mod for my Let's Play live streamy thing I did of it, everything seemed fine except there was a problem with the perception. Now, I didn't know at the time that you actually needed a high perception, which I'll get into in the actual discussion of exactly what that entails, in order to actually activate and use the mod. Now, at the time, I thought that was it. I just had too low of a perception, so I restarted a couple times, raised my perception, used console commands to raise my perception, did everything to raise my perception, and guess what? It didn't work, because the mod itself did not work. Now, I'm not going to hit the mod too hard. It's in its early alpha beta stages, likely to have some bugs and compatibility issues. I basically uninstalled Fallout 4, completely removed all of my mods except two, which is this mod, the Fallout Who mod, which we're about to talk about, and a 1911 mod to get this to work. So that's my rant. It's about 67, about, a little bit short of 67, but that's okay, okay? So let's just get on with the discussion. Okay, so we're going to start from here. There's the only other mod I have installed currently, which is the 1911 mod. So basically what we're going to do is, the mod actually starts down that yonder way, down that way. So what we're going to do is basically, sorry, I'm trying to do that thing in Fallout where you could like do a little zoom, but it doesn't work. Anyways, so basically we're going to walk down there, and I'm going to basically show you how to get to where you need to go if you've just popped up here. If you haven't just popped up there, then you'll probably be able to find it. Basically, the mod starts in the root cellar in Sanctuary. So if you already know where that is, don't worry about this. Just, hum to yourself for a few minutes as I walk down there. But as we walk down there, I'm going to discuss a couple things. One, this mod currently includes a fully functional TARDIS. But the only real issue is that the fully functional TARDIS does not include exchangeable interiors, which we will get to. It is stuck on a standard interior, which you will see. Yes, this is a brand new save. Completely started from the beginning, because I might actually use this to start my Let's Play of this mod, although there's not really much to Let's Play in this mod per se. But I'll basically just play Fallout 4 along with this mod included, and we'll just, see what happens. And there's a bloat fly. But anyways, I think there was another one in there, actually. I don't think the other one knows I'm here. That's okay. The root cellar is right over here. And that is the fastest way to get there. I mean, obviously, running probably would be slightly faster, but we don't worry about that. So, you're inside this root cellar. Okay, so, now, there is one thing I would advise. Before you get to this point, make sure you have some bobby pins. Go get some bobby pins. I don't care where you get them. I don't care if you console command them in. You need bobby pins. Now, what you're going to want is in this box right here. There's a note that says, "Don't open," which we're, of course, gonna not listen to because we're thieves. You can read that yourself. This isn't really a, I'm not gonna show you the whole mod. I'm basically just talking about it. Okay, so you got Scavenger Stash. It's an easy lock. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. If I break it, I've got saves. But boom, you open the lock, and there you go. You've got a mysterious journal, an old pocket watch, and a TARDIS key. Oh, yeah. Now, the mysterious journal, as you would think, is here, along with the TARDIS key in your miscellaneous. Now, you'll notice, though, the other thing isn't in here. So, unlike the previous mods, where the previous mod that I played, New Vegas version, this old pocket watch, or the fob watch, as I believe it's known in that game, is not actually just an item that you use inside the TARDIS with the machine that he used to do what he did in the series. It's actually an item which you equip. Now, before you equip that, you need to make sure your perception is at a minimum of 5. You can see here I have very basically set up skills here, because again, this was just a quick start, and I was kind of just like, well, what would I want? And I just picked that. My character, as you can see, is more based around these stats than being really strong or strengthy, which is unfortunate. But you need a minimum perception of 5. Anything below 5 will not work. Anything above is overkill. So you equip the old pocket watch, and that'll happen. If that doesn't happen, then your mod may be broken. You might want to reinstall it. So then what happens is your mysterious journal updates, and it says stuff, because originally it was blank, which I didn't bother to show you. Because again, this isn't, I'm not taking you a walk through the mod. This is more of a discussion. So now we're going to skip over to where the TARDIS is. What the f... Leave me alone. I'm trying to make a video here. Stupid Mirelurks. They're always getting in the way when I'm trying to make videos. I mean, Jesus. Go away. Oh my goodness. Just... Ah! Ah! Go away. I've got better things to do. Oh, Jesus. Little babies? Really? What is this? What is this? God. Jesus. Go away. I've got things to do. Okay, well, aside from that little detour with the Mirelurks there, my apologies for that, we are here, the robotics disposal ground. Now, as you can see, that is directly, well, sort of northeast of Sanctuary, up in this general corner, just across the little lake, which I swam across, and I attracted the attention of those Mirelurks, but, you know, won't worry about that. Even though it's called the robotics junkyard, you'll notice there's only actually one robot in the whole place, and, yeah, it's kind of funny. But anyways, so, what... The textures don't appear to have loaded. That's weird. I don't know if that has anything to do with my mod, but okay. The textures seem to be... Get off of there. God dang, I'm a professional. The textures seem to be broken, but basically you're going to go inside here. Which, for some reason, it appears broken. I don't know if that... I don't think that's supposed to be like that, but it's broken for some reason. So you're going to walk in here and you're going to notice that. Now, immediately, if you're a Whovian, you're going to be like, oh my god, oh! And that'll be a identical reaction to what you're going to experience. I don't know why I'm collecting everything. It's like a force of habit. So there's your TARDIS. And you can lock it, I think. Maybe not. But you can go inside. Opens the door. Ooh, and I leveled up because reasons. I'm not going to worry about that right now. But, in fact... Turn that off for now. So, as you can see, this is the TARDIS. Now step forward a little bit. Oh, the lights come on. Oh, beautiful. This TARDIS is amazingly beautiful, by the way. This is so beautiful. This is basically a standard TARDIS. It's also not actually the same kind of TARDIS that the Doctor uses, I don't think, because I think it's a slightly more advanced version. You can access this, which you can't yet because you haven't gotten that far. These holotapes we'll talk about in a minute. Oh boy, there's a lot to talk about. Really, it's an interesting mod. I don't even know where to start. Well, let's show you where you go. So you're gonna go in here, and then you're gonna turn the corner, and there's gonna be this mirror here, and just look at it, and magic. Everything continues, and now by the way, you're now a Time Lord. Unlike in the previous game. As you can see, defy death 12 times using your Gallifreyan biology to regenerate your specials and giving your face a new look. So every time you die, or well, basically you reach the death, your character will regenerate. And your face, body type, and all that, even maybe your gender. I think your gender can change. I'm not sure, actually, if your gender can change. But basically, everything changes, and your stats get changed. So, you know, it's kind of cool. Now, the thing you need to know about this is that unlike in the original you could get this, but it was kind of like you were turning yourself into a Time Lord. In this, it's implied that you are a Time Lord, which is a little different. So we're going to go down here. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, there's the sonic screwdriver, which, as you may have noticed, stupid, looks oddly like the one that River's supposed to have. Now, I'm not sure why. Perhaps that's a more advanced model. I don't know. But there you go. Sonic screwdriver. Now, you can actually dismantle things for parts, which is actually really cool. Whoa. Now, I wouldn't do that to this stuff because none of that stuff's actually made of parts, but that's okay. So you can see you can keep going, keep going. Tunnels. By the way, this does change randomly until you activate a certain stabilizing thing, which then locks the TARDIS in a very specific form, which is lovely because that was the thing I hated in the original. Yes. Now, you notice I'm not looking at the journal. The journal gives you updates and stuff, which you guys can read, but I already know how this all works, so I'm not going to bother. Now, basically, when you get in here, you're going to want to go into construction mode. Now, if you've ever played Fallout before, what you do is hold the middle mouse button, and boom, you go into workshop mode. Yes, that's the middle mouse button. At least standardly, it's the middle mouse button. And then use the arrow keys to wipe through this. You're going to go to the power. Swiping around again. But don't worry about that. You want to go straight into connectors and switches. I think. Wait, where am I going? No, I'm in the wrong place. No, I went to the wrong spot, didn't I? No, that's the right one, isn't it? Or do you just look at things? Oh, I can't remember. Oh, yes, you just look at things. I'm a professional. So just look at something, hit space, it creates a wire. And now what you can do is you're going to wire it to this, which provides 100 power, which I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but it doesn't matter. These only take 25 each, or a mix of that. I think it's probably about 100 altogether. So this is basically Atron Power Stacked Communication System. So basically, these are all your subsystems, which are now powered on. So now we go back to the other part of the ship. Which right there, yeah, you saw that, right? Now the TARDIS has changed again. Why has it changed again? Because now it's added more rooms. Now the full interior of the TARDIS has been unlocked because all of your subsystems are now online, which are all of these things. Now, is it the molecular? It might be molecular stabilizers. I can't remember. But one of those you turn on and it stabilizes the TARDIS. So that way you don't have weird shifting walls and stuff. Now, we're going to go to the library, which, if I recall, is down this way, up these stairs. You can feel that shaking. That's because stuff is changing. There it is. Yeah, I was right. So this is how you get here. Now you can see there's another one of these power grid things, which you can activate. It actually allows you to basically build, because the entire ship is a workshop zone. So you can actually build anything you want anywhere in here. So for instance, this, scrap. You can scrap it straight into the TARDIS. And the TARDIS basically maintains a full thing. Now you can also break stuff down with the screwdriver, by the way. If you pull that out, you can actually use it to break parts down so you don't actually have to carry full pieces of things, which is actually really helpful. So while you're in here, you're probably like, well, what the heck am I doing in here? You're looking for the manual. Now, you could spend a while looking at each of these bookshelves trying to figure out where it is. If I'm going to skip the time, it's right there. And interesting, it's actually a book. So you can actually take it out, and if you really, really wanted to, put it back in. Kind of glitchy, though. So there it is. The Type 45 TARDIS Handbook. Now, if I recall correctly, the Doctor uses a Type 40 TARDIS capsule. So this is more advanced, theoretically. It's also supposed to be a prison ship, which might be why it's a different model, because this is intended as a prison ship. Now, why the hell you would send a prisoner in a fully functional TARDIS, I don't know, but don't worry about it. So this is the TARDIS manual. Now, I will warn you, there's a lot of pages. Yeah. Did you get all that? Because I didn't. But the gist of it, you can take the book, though, so you can always look up whatever you need, which I really like, is that you can just take the book. Oh, you can turn the lights off, too. I'm not sure why you do that, because it's kind of creepy in here. We'll just turn the lights off. It's a library, too. The Vos Narada are playing there, so don't turn the lights off. So, boom. You come out here and just run, and then I just turn myself around because I'm a dingus. Go this way, down the corridor, to the end, down this way, down this way. No, wait a minute, that's not the right way. You gotta go back this way. Wait a minute, where are we? Getting myself turned around here. I think it's this way. Yes, this way. Let's come down here. So, now, you will have to read that TARDIS manual. I advise you read the whole TARDIS manual before doing anything, but I'm going to show you the gist. This is the quick start guide. First thing first, turn all of those on. Twiddle them all. So twiddle that one, 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 and you get the point. Now that all of those are on, all of your subsystems have been enabled. You can also use this. Now I will note that don't think it's broken if you walk right up to it and you can't use it. It only activates at about this distance. So stand about right here and it'll turn on. But if you stand a little bit to the right, it turns off. If you stand a little bit to the left, it turns off. Come at it at an angle. Sometimes it works, but you have to basically be right about here. So hit that scanner. Now, why are we in here? Well, first off, we're not going to go look at it right now, but basically you're going to turn on all of your other rooms because there's some good stuff in the engineering room. You can get food in the galley, and the wardrobe actually has a pair of important equipment, which I'm not going to go into in this because it's not all that important for the general discussion of the mod, but it's interesting stuff. So, security settings. Now you can see we have plasma shell configuration, we have TT capsule because, well, there are no actual other settings. And then there's enable chameleon circuit. Now the difference, if you enable the chameleon circuit and disable the chameleon circuit, and you're probably like, well, what's the point? What's the difference? Well, when the chameleon circuit's disabled, the ship will just lock into whatever form you choose to give it. If you leave the chameleon circuit on, it will automatically change to look different every time you land to match the environment, which is pretty cool. I mean, obviously, you'd probably prefer to be walking around as the Doctor and all, but, you know, what are you going to do? So you got a lot of controls. Pretty much every single button does something. This, by the way, is just the workshop thing. You can store shit in there. Like, I have all this random junk, which I'm just going to chuck in there. Basically, this is a fully functional house, essentially. Now, I don't know if NPCs can use it. Like, if you built houses and beds in here, or if you can do stuff like that and attract people to it. I highly doubt it, because that would be weird. But, like, what is this? For those who deserve punishment. What the freak? Okay. Because obviously it's sort of it's like a house, basically, for your player. So, that's pretty cool. Rift scanner lets you detect rifts. Navcom, of course, lets you select where you're going. Okay? Now, if I recall, it's hard to find anything on this board, by the way. There's a magnetic card reader. That's where those holotapes come in that I showed you earlier. Alright. Oh, Jesus. They're here. Primary, secondary, and tertiary holotape. Basically, what you do is to put those in your here. Let's just look at it in the manual. It's in here someplace. Give me a minute. Hold on. Molecular stabilizers. Nope, that's not what that does. Okay, well, don't worry about it. Maintenance, not what we're looking for. Flight, here we go. Let's see. To record coordinates. Here you go. I don't have a mouse now. Here we go. Okay, to record coordinates, insert one of the 3 location holotapes, provide into a Pip-Boy standing and facing at the desired location and direction. So basically, that's how you will set those coordinates, and then you put that tape into the magnetic card reader, and your TARDIS will go there. Very freaking helpful. Custom locations. You know, TARDIS can provide with magnetic card reader, allows you to read. Turn it off. I'm not sure if it actually. I think it also, yeah, from the Navcom databanks. Now, I'm not actually sure how the Navcom databanks work. I haven't actually used them much yet. But there's a button somewhere, I'm sure, that lets you actually use it. Because there's the Navcom, which you can set up for programmed flight. But I don't actually remember what the Navcom is. Is it in here, perhaps? Yeah, there it is. Navcom database. Which, of course, lets you choose where you want to be. So I would assume that means that where we are right now would be in here. Okay, maybe it's not. That's okay, though. So basically, that's how that works. Now, pretty much that's the gist of how this whole mod works. That's the opening gist, at least. There's obviously a lot more to know. But basically, for randomized flight, you're going to do this. Now, first, though, reach over here. This turns off the lights. case you want it to be creepy. Turn the lights back on. So, first thing you want to do is not reach over there. Reach over here. Make sure your shields are on. Okay, then you got your door switch, which opens the doors. So close the doors. And then you have your stabilizers. Your stabilizers are now active. Or now deactive. Yeah, it's kind of weird if you hit a button too many times. So, like, deactivated, activated. Basically, the stabilizers are the thing that basically allows the TARDIS to fly without you doing anything. Without all the shaking and shit. So what you're going to do is hit the zigzag plotter, which initiates programmed flight. Hit the helmet regulator. Hit the space-time throttle. It doesn't really matter. I put on maximum when I'm flying with the thing on because why not? Also a good thing, by the way, before I go on with that. Rule. I say this is an active rule. Before taking off in the TARDIS, check the system's readout. For God's sake, not the system's readout. Which one is it? That one, Atron energy. Make sure you have energy. There is 34% in this TARDIS, so it's almost empty. Now, of course, this is the very beginning of the game, so I don't have any of these. But this is how you can actually put fusion cores into the TARDIS, and it recharges the TARDIS, which is really creative. You can also recharge your Sonic here, which is helpful because you need to do that to actually use the Sonic. Now, before you hit that, because we've chosen our speed, so basically you go zigzag plotter, helmet, space-time throttle, select your speed. Then you come over here, hit the locking down mechanism. I know, weird. Come over here, hit the demilitarization circuit. And away you go. And you can see it's almost perfectly still. Because the stabilizers are on. Now, I don't know if anything weird happens, but if you turn the stabilizers off, that's where the fun begins. Stabilizers off. Now it shakes, makes weird noises, it sparks at you, and now you have to twiddle the glowing blue things. Basically, you're manually flying the TARDIS. Now, there's a few other things I want to show you that don't involve flying TARDIS. This is pretty much it, by the way. I'm actually re-enable the stabilizers, so that way I don't have to worry about it. Now, there are a few other things that I want to show you, including how the sonic screwdriver actually works for certain things, as well as other things. Now, if I call... Yeah, so there you go. When you aim at a door with a sonic equipped, you can just hit lock, and the door is now locked. Expert difficulty. Unlock. That's how the sonic works. Now, it can also shoot. Oh. Right, I had to reload it, apparently. But, yeah. Nope, we've landed. Your ship does take wear and tear every time it flies. Now, I think that comes off of the shield oscillators. Now, you can see we're now down to 16%. So that one flight took us down almost half of power we had left. So let's scan for rifts. Unfortunately, no rifts have been detected. Now, that's problematic because, of course, that means it can't actually absorb any energy. So what you want to do is you want to try and find someplace radioactive. So the best thing I would say is first, open the door. Well, let's go outside. Hello, so this is a little aside before we continue along with the video. I, the entirety of this video, forgot to show people how to actually refuel the TARDIS. So this is a little aside because this is what I was going to do before I wandered out there. Now, this is taking place later. I'm in the middle of a regeneration. You'll understand why later. So what you do, also for future reference, in order to use the magnetic card reader, you hit whichever one it is. In my case, it's the primary holotape, which I have now inserted. Then you will hit Navcom, which activates the Navcom systems. Go to the TARDIS reader, Navcom bank, and holotape data, primary data store. Now I'm set to land wherever I set that holotape, which I've set in a rather radioactive place so that I can refuel the TARDIS. So now we're going to prime that. Maximum velocity. Disable logging down mechanism, and away we go! So now we're going to fly along. Hopefully we don't regenerate in the middle of this flight, because if we do, it could cause some horrendous damage and problems, because I've been holding it back for so long now, it'll probably just blow up the entire room. Yeah, let's hope I don't regenerate on this road trip. Oh, shit. Well, this could be really bad. Oh, dear. Yeah, so there you go. Regeneration. Now I can change my face. Let's be this guy. Boom. Now we're a new person. Yay. So that's how regeneration works. Actually... Oh, shit. Oh, shit. We ran out of power. So maybe I was wrong, right? I thought maybe... Oh, crap. Ah! Okay, what I was about to say was I was worried that perhaps the regeneration would blow up the TARDIS, kind of like how... how when Tenet regenerated, he regenerated quite violently and the TARDIS crashed and all that shit. But obviously not. Yeah, so we've landed where we wanted to be. So, well, basically that was a little excessive for what I'm trying to show you. But what I'm trying to show you is how to refuel. So basically, you'll land at a place, when you hit the rifts, it'll detect, rift energy detected levels exceed safety tolerance. Basically, that means there's high amounts of radiation and stuff outside that will probably be bad. You hit the engine release, it'll say this, and that has now activated the maintenance mode. So then you just go outside. Okay, and we've landed. Where the fuck am I? Okay, so we are now outside. Unfortunately, it does appear we have freaking spawned into Satan's cult room. Jesus Christ. But anyway, so there's actually the TARDIS right there. What?
Pikmin, you can't hide down there forever. Pikmin, the boys found your little secret entrance upstairs. It's just a matter of time.
Ooh.
You're gonna wish you were never born, Pikmin.
Ooh. Okay, well, we're gonna go back and talk about the mod. This place is fucking creepy. Now, I didn't actually put the Sonic on there, but this is a good chance to show you how some of the Sonic stuff works. So the Sonic can do other things other than just open locks. Unfortunately, I don't think the Sonic can hack computers. At least I didn't manage to make it. So you can just unlock open doors. So there you go, doors open. Just wander in here. Now you can see there's this. Apparently I can talk to you. You can't shoot. Oh Jesus! You can shoot them, and if you hit them with the Sonic, it actually disables their weapon. It knocks the weapon out of their hand. Now, as far as I can tell, there is no actual lethal use for the Sonic. It is possible, I think, to... Oh, dear. Yeah, so now you can regenerate, and this is how they regenerate. I'm not going to regenerate in this, but basically, the longer you wait, the more dangerous the regeneration is. So you just knock weapons out. We're going to go back into the TARDIS because we're about to fucking die, but that's how the Sonic works. Very simple. So yeah, now we're in the midst of a regeneration, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. The magic of editing, won't even have to worry about it. So now we're in the midst of, you know, regenerating. We're going to just close that door in case something goes wrong. Now, notably speaking, obviously, you can actually put on a thing so you never lose the TARDIS, which is a homing beacon, which is not there. It's one of these. No, it's not. You can use this to change the time of day, which is pretty cool. And the drift compensator does absolutely nothing, as far as I can tell. That switch does nothing. There's a digital communicator system. Homing beacon, there you go. This basically just gives you a bit way to find the TARDIS. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go on to engineering. We're going to see if we can modify this. Okay, we made it to engineering. Now this is technically a weapon. And I think you use this. Nope, perhaps not. I don't actually know how you're supposed to do it. There is a way to modify the weapon. Modify your Sonic. I'm not actually sure how you do that though. This is the workroom, by the way. There's a lot of random stuff in here, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I'm not really sure how you're supposed to do that, but as you can see, there's Time Lord Science, which is anti-radiation pills, regenerative stabilizer, which you need in a high-protein cellular stimulant that aids and accelerates a fresh regeneration cycle. I'm not really sure what that means, but it's things you need. Now, as you can see, there is a lovely effect on your character when he is regenerating, which is very helpful in knowing that you're regenerating. Now, there's this big space. Again, every room is a workshop, so you can do that anywhere you want. Yeah, I'm not actually sure how you're supposed to modify the Sonic. I know you're supposed to be able to do it, but I have no idea. Perhaps that's part of the whole, you know, exploring thing. There are secrets and stuff in this TARDIS, from what I can tell, that you have to find, which is pretty cool. But that's pretty much the gist of that. I didn't really have a whole... I don't want to... This isn't supposed to be like a walkthrough or a let's play of this mod. It's just a spotlight to give you an idea of how awesome this mod is. This mod is really good. By the way, for those of you who are more tech... Continue holding. We're volatile now. There is a room somewhere that holds a bunch of shit, which is very helpful for crafting. I don't know where that room is, but don't worry about it. So, yeah, there's this thing in here. I don't know what that does here. Close that door. So, yeah, that's all I really had to say. And, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for a possible longer series. I'm still debating whether I'm going to do a longer series on this. I hope that wasn't too jumbled and messy for you guys. It probably was. I apologize if it was. I might refilm it. Probably won't, though. Thanks for watching. Hey, thanks for watching my video. If you really liked it, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, hitting that nice little button in the center there. And if you'd like to support the channel, make sure to hit up the Patreon link in the description below. Follow me on Twitter for all future updates. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.